I'll just like edit it out or whatever. But we're going to talk about the regression of our government or whatever, because y'all know all this crazy stuff that's going on. But for introduction, welcome back to the Social Cycle Podcast, where we take a look at things affecting the Black community from a sociological and psychological point of view. My name is Boonie, and I'm here with Endya, Vanjalyn, Seye, and Royal. How are y'all doing today?
Bleh. Yeah. I feel like that was the perfect answer for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. I second that. Today's topic is going to be the regression of our government. With everything that has been going on, the laws that are these law, I ain't gonna say new laws, but these old laws that they are trying to bring back and get passed under our noses. But thanks to TikTok for keeping us informed and in the know, it didn't get past us. But I thought that it was important to talk about it because I don't feel like we talk about politics that much on here. We do get into it a little bit, but we don't dedicate an episode to it. So I was like, let's do something different, I guess you can say. But we could jump right into the first segment with this question. What have you seen that makes you believe our government is regressing?
This isn't anything new, but seeing a lot of disrespect to women and not really taking women seriously as far as us just simply wanting control of our own selves. Like it's it's really giving like I'm we've had enough of women in the back talk. We don't want y'all to have rights. We don't want y'all to think for yourself. We don't want y'all to do nothing that's going to threaten our position of power. We want you guys to stay put and close your mouth. Excuse me. Yeah, it's nothing new. This has been happening since the dawn of time. But I thought that, we were at a point where I, I thought we reached a point in our society where we 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 cared about equality, or we tried to convey it, even if people didn't really even if people didn't truly believe it. We were really faking the funk, like women mattered. Like it went from women not mattering at all to women mattering a little bit, and now it's going backwards. So yeah, I want to dive deep into that particular, but I want to hear everybody else's answer.
Okay. Endya, what about you?
Not even gonna lie, I don't know what's going on in the news right now. I have not been to what's going on politically. I've really been in my own bubble, but I do know, I guess on not so much a government level, but just the overall economic system level, prices are skyrocketing and people are getting poorer. So it's like we need to figure out a new system altogether.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna accomplish that because I feel like we've gotten too caught up in individualism and everybody just kind of for themselves rather than creating cooperatives. So yeah, I guess that's kind of where my head is right now as far as government or politics go, just uprooting the entire system.
Got you. What about you, Royal?
Boy, oh boy, where do I start? uh, so recently, TikTok was banned in the state of Montana, and the way our government is set up, a lot of states will be the what's the word I'm looking for? The grounds to test out, so the testing grounds for different laws to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And so Montana is going to be the first state to test out the TikTok ban, which is affecting us in a negative way because number one, free speech. It's it's banning something that is beneficial to a lot of today's society, and they don't ban apps like Parler that are havens for false news and very negative things. The good thing about TikTok is you're able to somebody will fact check you in a second if you don't tell the truth.
Right.
Um, we also have the repeal of a lot of voting rights recently in Georgia. They're setting the precedence for that, requiring a lot more strenuous things than they used to for for people to be even allowed to vote. We have the Mississippi basically trying to take us back to Jim Crow. Uh, there is so many things, and it's like blatant. Everything that's
Yeah.
happening in Florida with Ron DeSantis, and he just threw his hat in the presidential race. So that's something to check out for because if he becomes president, he's Trump on steroids. Uh,
Wow,
Trump would
somebody
he
worse
I
than
wouldn't
Trump?
say that he's Trump. I don't think he's Trump on steroids. I think that he's Trump, but he's wiser, which is more
yes,
dangerous.
very much so. He's Trump. He's wise. He's wiser. He's more smart. He knows how the government works, so he can get bills passed that are very, very bad. Like all the fact that he's trying to stop CRT out there. He's banning books, but the pushback is real though because they push back against his book banners, trying to ban his own book that came out because they said you can't have things that are overtly sexual in books and stuff like that, and he had a lot of stuff like that in his own book. So
Wait, you can't
the
what?
you can't have stuff that's overtly sexual in books in Florida. That's what he had a book ban or pushing one agenda or the other. You know,
Mm.
and his book fell under that same thing that he tried to pass, and now the lawmakers out there are trying to stop him from doing, stop his book from being put out anymore. So he's bad. I haven't seen anything this scary in a long time. Like Ron DeSantis, if he has a good chance too, because if Trump doesn't run, he'll win the Republican nomination, and that'll be very bad.
Hmm. What about you, Van?
Basically everything Royal and well all of y'all was saying, but definitely um it's like we're going back not even to like before women had rights, but we're going way back to like full blown slavery time. Like they don't want to hear anything from anybody, and it's not just affecting people of color like they're thinking it will. It's affecting everybody, but because everybody is just worried about the rich Caucasian people, they don't even care at this point. They're just like, we just want to take care of our own. And then the regression of learning, like to make it where you won't even know, you're not supposed to know your history. It's already been whitewashed, but now they're trying to do it again to where like you can't do this at all. You can't learn any of this at all. You're definitely not going to learn it in school. Not like we learned it in school in the first place, but you definitely can't learn it in school. You're not going to be, at some point, they're going to make it where you can't do it online. They're going to find, if they're trying to ban TikTok, they're going to find a way to where you're basically like, where is that? Damn, I can't think. What country was that where they don't have access to a lot, like everything is dictated, like their internet access, what they can see on TV, what they can
North
hear on the
Korea.
radio, what they can see on. Yes, there. That's basically what they're doing at this point. And it's like, why? Like, why? There's no logical reason for it besides stupidity. I can't even say ignorance. It's just pure stupidity. Like, there's no reason for it. So I feel like we're just completely going back, not even just a little bit, or how now we're just like, damn, it's 2023, like we still got to deal with racist fucks, and it's like, no, it's 2023 and they're trying to take it back to like the 1800s.
Crazy. But I've been seeing all of the same things that y'all have been seeing, courtesy of y'all, because y'all have been showing me, but otherwise I wouldn't have cared to see a lot of the things. Of course, I understand how a lot of these laws and things being passed, how dangerous it could be and how it affects us and stuff like that. But my concern is the Black community, like, because it's like the world is burning, the world is gonna burn down, the world is burning down. Now what we gonna do? And I feel like because we're so divided, to me this is I guess more important to me, because we're so divided, because everywhere I go I'm seeing black women talking about how unhappy they are with black men talking about how unhappy they are with black women. Apparently we're more damaging to their progression than white men. We're what's standing in their way. We're the reason why they can't, progress or whatever. And I'm more concerned with that because I feel like, instead of course, pay attention to what's going on so we will know what we need to do, but instead of focusing so much on what's going on in society, I would love for us to just come together and focus on what we are going to do. Because a lot of the times with these situations, there's really nothing you can do to stop these people from doing what they want to do. We already see that it's going to be a hard fight to stop this stuff. Now what we going to do? Let's find some solutions for how we're going to handle this. And I don't see none of that happening because we're too busy on social media, like arguing with each other, talking bad about each other, or paying attention to what rappers, movie stars, all of those people are doing, and applying their lifestyle to our circumstances, even though it doesn't fit. And also, like Endya said, when it comes to the economy and the prices are rising, things are getting higher, and we're getting poorer because we can't afford it. Like, I have witnessed this when it came to my medicine, how the insurance companies are trying to dictate how much medicine we can take every month, how much they will allow us to get every month. They're dictating a lot of stuff that we really don't have any control over. And I feel like Medicaid is going to be one of those things that they take away from us. It's going to be one of the first things. It's going to be something that they take away from us early, because of the things that I've been dealing with when it comes to Medicaid. And I've been hearing other people that I know that have illnesses talking about a lot of stuff, not just Medicaid, but I just came across a video on TikTok where this girl was talking about is it the organ, I forgot which organ, the donor list, and how the rules for Black people being qualified for the list differ from white people being qualified for the list. They're literally making it hard for people to get organs that they need, basically saying that Black people need to be a little healthier to get these organs rather than unhealthy like the white people. Like, they have to, I think, I can't say exactly what it is that they were measuring or whatever. But basically, in order to get on the list, to get a transplant or whatever, or to get to get on the donor list, you have to be seen as healthy enough to receive help, which makes no sense when your organs are failing. So you shouldn't be going by how healthy I am or how healthy it is, like it's failing. So why not just put me on the list? Like, just a lot of the things that have been being pointed out, and I'm pretty sure this stuff has always been going on, but because we're living in these times, we're starting to pay attention to a lot of things that we weren't paying attention to before. A lot of the fine print that we weren't reading before, we're starting to read it. And I just been seeing a lot of people pointing out so many different things. So it's not even just like when it comes to laws, but it's different areas of our government, like just completely the healthcare system, the laws, like everything is being affected. And I think things in our society are being affected too. I feel like we're so divided. It's crazy. We went from having the pandemic and people seeming to come together when things were happening till 3 years later. Like, now it's like every man for themselves. Let's just try to get rich. Let's just try to get this money money over everything. Like, nothing else matters. And I feel like the lifestyle of these famous people, celebrities or whatever, has been distracting a lot of people from the other stuff that has been happening. They're trying to I think Royal was the one who said this. They're trying to take away rights for everybody, and especially when it comes to freedom of speech and stuff like that, by trying to get rid of TikTok, amongst other things. Like, for instance, certain things you can't even post, or certain people can't post online. They flag your videos, they take them down. You kind of have to, we've created words for certain things so so our stuff won't get flagged. And it's crazy. We shouldn't have to do that, but that's how it is. Like, it's like they're trying to silence all of us, like women. Yeah. And the crazy thing about the whole thing about when it comes to like women's rights, Black men are so focused on putting us in our places that they don't even see how them coming for our rights is going to affect them, because they're so busy, you know, they're so busy worried about power and who wants to be in control. And oh my God, these women are doing too good without us. We got to put our foots down, and we got to make them dumb themselves down in order to be our wives and stuff like that, when they're literally coming for all of our rights. But you've been brainwashed to believe that we're your biggest problem, when these people have been the biggest problem since the very beginning. Since the very beginning, like I said. And that to me is more troubling than everything else. It's the division in our community, because everything could be, yeah, like Van said, the power without the responsibility. Like, the world can be burning down, but if we actually united and started coming up with solutions to these problems, then we might be all right. We might be able to fight this. We might be able to do something about it. But if everybody's attention is somewhere different, and we're all over the place, we don't stand a chance.
I think I've said this before, that the biggest weapon of the elite and white people is psychological warfare, and they have years and years on us. If they can sow discord between us, then they don't have to fight us themselves. They can make us fight amongst each other, which is the downfall of the Panthers, which was the downfall of the civil rights movement. They pit us against each other instead of going against it.
And I feel like when it comes to fighting online, we should still do that. I think we should still make it seem like we're doing that. But behind closed doors, We need to be doing something else.
We really need unity, and we need people to be willing to step up to the plate and really be down to have these conversations, however uncomfortable they will be, because it's going to take a lot of breaking the social norms or whatever, and letting women take lead, being okay with that. Like, but a lot of these people can't accept something like that.
Right, because they put an ego before what makes sense, and people claim to. Well, I'm not gonna say that people claim to be more logical. It is logical to put women in their place because your logic is gonna tell you, your brain gonna tell you the only way that you can be in power is if she is underneath you, because you know you can't win that battle against no other group of people except Black women. So logic says we have to put these women in their place if we want to be in control or whatever. That's why I say using just logic is dangerous. Like, it really is. Because
If they don't
sometimes, go
if they
ahead.
don't realize that the power that we have if we work together, and so what if a woman becomes the leader of the movement, or is so what? It's going to benefit all of us. Like, we need to
Right.
work together. Whoever's the best person for the job at the time, and we all have positions that we need to play with this when it comes down to this, to stop these things from happening. But if we continue to fight and continue to stay with this antiquated mindset, then nothing will ever even come close to change.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I feel like, um yeah, the things that are going on is a huge problem, and it is something to worry about or whatever, but we need to put our differences aside, and we need to have conversations. Some we need to have in public, and some we need to have in private, because I feel like a lot of us are getting platforms because all you got to do is have a computer, a camera, and you could create your own platform. So we're all talking about things or whatever, and that's cool. Yeah, we all of our voices should be heard, even the ignorant. However, when it comes down to it, when it comes to actually uniting and working on things, that's something that we need to be doing behind closed doors, for real. But um we could, if nobody has anything else to add, we can move to the next segment, which
I have
is
one thing I wanted to say before you said that. The problem is when we if we have those conversations in private, there's gonna be somebody. There's moles that come in, just like the Black Panthers. They sent people in there to take us down. They look like us. They talk like us. They're black just like us, but they don't have our best interests at heart in those private conversations. It is crazy to think that, why would you work against your own self interest? But yeah, that's my biggest concern with something like
I feel like either way. I feel like talking about it in public, there is gonna be risk with that, and it's gonna be risk with doing it in private. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I feel like when we think about stuff like this, we think about it on this large scale, and when it comes to, like, when we think about it, we think about celebrities, people in places of power coming along with us. But I feel like it just need to be the little people, and even if it's just four of us in a room, like, at a time, until we can get more people to care about what we got to say, I don't feel like they are going to be the ones to resolve anything, because they are them now. Like, they are them now.
100%.
So I feel like that needs to be something that we just take out of our minds. Like, these celebrities are not going to save us. Like, they are in a position that if something happened, they got enough money They may not be able to escape everything, but they got enough money to not go through a lot of the things that we're going to go through. But to move on to the next question, the next segment, which is the hear me out segment. Why do you think these things are being done? Why do you think these laws are they're trying to pass these laws, and why do you think our government is regressing?
Fear. The white people have made up this whole thing. They have a thing called the replacement theory right now. So they're afraid that they're being replaced by us and Mexicans because by 2050, I think it's the timetable has moved up actually. I'm not sure what day, but by 2050, they will no longer be the majority. And they're afraid that we're going to do to them what they did to us. And that fear is controlling them. The racist people are just very, very fearful of us getting any semblance of power. It's also happening because we're letting it happen, and we're not speaking up. We're not standing against these things happening because we can really stop it. And part of it is getting the information out there because a lot of times they're doing these meetings in secret behind closed doors. But people in so-called positions of power know, and these are a lot of black lawmakers, like we were talking about earlier. The people that are there, they're part of them that because they know that this meeting is happening, and instead of putting it on blast, we find out days or weeks later that they had a private meeting and enacted a law that's detrimental to us.
What about you, Van?
Same as royal fear. Exactly what he said is the fear. They really are trying to quote unquote put us back in our place and go back in time because they felt like that was the greatest America that ever existed because they were in control, they were in power, they could do whatever they wanted regardless of who suffered the consequences for it. They didn't care. Like even to this day, there are studies done that would help everybody and they would rather vote against it and not help themselves simply because it helps others. And it makes no sense, but that's how they are and it's wild, but definitely fair.
Shaya?
Yeah, honestly, I have nothing else to add. Y'all really cleared that up and you said
Right.
it perfectly. Like, we're
Yeah,
all on the same page here.
yeah, I agree too. I think it's fear as well. I think, hold on, before I say what I'm about to say, let me see if I got a question about it. Oh, I think, I think that this fear, this fear that is instilled in them too, is also created by them too. The brainwashing, like in brainwashing us, they also brainwash themselves into believing the things that they needed to believe about us to justify why we were treated a certain type of way, why things were happening. Because I don't feel like you can be a parasite without infecting you as well. And I feel like because of this fear that they have, they're literally going to ruin everything. Like they're literally gonna they're going to burn their own system down because they're afraid. Like we literally see examples of this all the time, and it never pans out the way that they think it's going to. And it's crazy that history keeps repeating itself, but like I always say, like when we was talking about certain things on like the other episodes, I just feel like no matter how many times you start over, it's gonna come back to this because of humans, because we're humans, and that's just kind of something that's the greed, uh, the greed of power and all of that stuff. Greed, the need to be in power. So I think is the cause of all of those things. I think you're greedy because you're afraid to not have anything. You want the power because you are afraid of what would happen if you don't have it. Like fear is really the real devil. Like that's the devil. That's the antagonist of of humanity, basically. Fear.
This, this fear can be tracked all the way back to the birth of this nation, but the most recent incarnation of it was the election of President Obama when they had that secret meeting the day he won the election about how they were going to combat that. And it was a group full of white people, and they were like they were going to do everything they could to discredit them, even if it was beneficial to them. Like passing, he was trying to get universal health care passed. They did not want him to have anything possible good under his name. So they planned that, and then an extension of that was Trump getting elected. They were successful in convincing enough people that this no way this black man could possibly be a good leader for us. So we convinced you over 8 years that he was bad. Like
Right.
everything that there's nothing good that he did, nothing he did that benefited you. When a lot of things that he did, honestly, to be honest, a lot of things he did benefited white people way more than it benefited us. But they didn't want to hear that. So their fear is the irrational fear. But
Irrational. Irrational.
yeah,
100%.
like they don't want to hear that though. That's why they're going into the realm of conspiracy theories now with the whole QAnon thing or whatever. They're doing whatever they can to believe that the psychoticness of their fears. Their fears are literally getting the best of them.
It is.
It
I know that's
reminds
not the
me
best,
of
but it's wild to me because didn't the Bible say, what was it? God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And yet their very existence is rooted in fear.
Well,
exactly.
because that ain't the that they that's because they're not real for real.
It it
But
reminds
they're
me
the
of there
ones
was
who
an
made it up.
Say that again, Van.
I said, but they're the ones who made it up.
Yeah, they did.
there there was an episode of South Park called Imagination Land, and it's hilarious to me because there was a scene in there where it's like, oh no, our imaginations are running wild. It was all of their worst fears. It was literally all imagination, but they were making it a reality for themselves. Everything that they fear. Oh, Africa's gonna bomb us. Our imaginations are running. It was hilarious, but it's the truth because they're making their own, trying to make their own fears a reality when it's not.
And they really think that they kind of like create us as an antagonist for them. Like they are really a people that are being
Narcissistic.
like they literally have created this idea that they are the wronged, like they are the rightful owners of this world, and we're the antagonists, and oh my God, we cannot allow them to get more power than us, because if they do, they're gonna do to us. Like, they have done so many savage, so many like heartless things that they literally are afraid that it's going to be done to them.
Because their feelings get hurt. They're just like children. You know, if you take a candy away from a child, it's gonna be the worst day of their lives. Like, it at that point, it's the worst day of their lives. They can't have their candy. They're in distraught. You are the human being to exist. And that's exactly how they are. Their feelings get hurt. The world is ending. That's it. Nothing else. Because their feelings got hurt. Not because they're actually physically hurt. Not because somebody actually did them wrong. Not because somebody lied to them. None of that. Not because somebody ended their generational wealth that they didn't deserve, but because their feelings are hurt. That's it.
And it's
You
crazy
yell at
too,
them, they're gonna cry.
because like, Royal, you mentioned like they're afraid of us getting power, that they're not going to be the majority, which means that they're not going to be in power. It's crazy because we have done nothing to show that we would ever turn the tables, or we would ever just be like, oh, now it's more of us, we gonna be in power now. And I feel like if we just kept going in that direction, we would literally never do that. Literally never do that.
Somebody needs to make a movie of it being like a mostly Black movie, and somebody just randomly lying, like just shitting on a white person, and them like just crumbling under it, and then it's like, see, that's what y'all do. That is the world that we live in on a regular basis. That is what y'all do. That is how y'all treat us. That is exactly what happened.
They live in a state of perpetual victim mentality.
Yeah.
And we see it in these videos to where I've never seen it before this, is you can weaponize your victim mentality. Like that white lady fighting those black boys over the bike. So when she touched it, help, like what? Like they were doing something to you. They were just standing there. You try to take something from them, but now you're the victim. All of a sudden, the white people are really good at making themselves the victim of the situation.
Please don't let no white lady cry out for help. It sets off the bat signal.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, white niggas like Batman showing up, ready to fight.
And you know what? I don't think it's because of a savior thing, though. There is very little you can tell me that will convince me that when white women cry and, you know, they come to quote unquote save them, it's because they feel like, you know, you're endangering this white woman or whatever. I genuinely feel like it's because they can't stand it. You know how parents can't stand when their kids whine and cry? I genuinely feel like it's because they can't stand it, because they know they'll never hear the end of it. Like, there's very little that'll convince me of. Yes, there's very little.
Yeah, white
that
men
will convince
hate
me
white women.
otherwise.
I feel like they hate white women. You could tell. You could just tell by the discomfort that be on their face whenever one of those situations happen. It's literally like that video you talking about, Royal. Like, his face said to me, "Please give her this bike so she can shut up."
That's exactly
how he looked.
That's exactly
how he looked.
They would do anything to get them to shut up. That's all. It's not because they actually genuinely think they're in danger. It's because they know they won't shut the hell up.
And they go really, really, really big on it. Like, historically, especially something like that, the Emmett Till case, they were really big on it because they were so fearful for the white lady. They wanted her to shut the fuck up.
Like, girl, just shut up. We'll kill these people just for you to shut up. Exactly. I hate you.
That's the exact same thing that happened in Black Wall Street. You know, like, well, you know what? We'll burn the whole thing down so you don't have to say anything.
Bro, that's crazy. If only black men followed suit. That's the only thing they won't do that white men do. That's the
Exactly. You hear
only thing
a
y'all.
black woman cry out,
That's the only thing y'all won't do that white men do.
they're gonna blame the black woman though. A black woman cry out, they're the problem. What?
Yeah. Literally the only thing they taught black men to hate us, this hate us like they hate white women, except because they're black. Because I feel like black people emotions are like it's built on something. You know what I mean? Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? I feel like our emotions are there has to be a story behind every feeling that we have. There has to be a moment
It is
where
right in a way, like not making excuses for them, but at the same time, it's almost like because we do take on genetic feelings, emotions, whatever you want to call it, we pass that shit down. And it's like at one point they couldn't protect us. They couldn't see anything but the white woman being something that's supposed to be treasured and protected. Whereas if they tried with us, they more than likely was gonna get killed, or we were gonna get sold, or some shit was gonna happen to us that was gonna make them be like, all right, I'm not gonna do it. But at some point that translated into we were the bad ones instead of just you couldn't protect us at that time. We understand that. We understood that. We are no longer in that world. Like, yes, we're all still getting killed on the daily. That hasn't changed. But for some reason, us as women are still building, like we're still growing and we're trying to bring you with us. But instead of coming with us, you would rather take master side. And it's like, you don't have to do that no more. You don't have to do that no more. You can work with us. We are trying to take you with us, but you either want to be lazy or you think that you're supposed to be above us. And it's like, hell, if you're supposed to be above us, then that means you need to be working a little bit harder than what I'm doing.
exactly.
But they don't want to do that now. And
Because
it's like, I
they want
understand it
us
back
to help
then, but
them be
not
above
now.
us. It's like we always have to do something for them to do something. For them to be above us, we gotta stop. We gotta dumb ourselves down. We gotta stop performing at the level that we're performing. Because that, for whatever reason, that's the only way. Like the only way for us, for black men to feel like this, black women got it. Why do we always have to do something for y'all to get the results that y'all want? Why can't y'all just
Earlier
get those
today,
results?
I heard a black man. I really wish I could go back to. I probably can later. My watch history on TikTok. I heard him say, "Men always talking about their women nagging, or she too masculine, or this, that, and the third. Like she always got something to say. She got an attitude." And he was like, "But I guarantee, if you was out here trying to play sports, and your coach was on your ass, or your daddy was on your ass about how you slacking, how you ain't doing what you're supposed to do for something you said that you wanted to do, you wouldn't have no problem with that. Yeah, you'll complain a little here and there, but you still gonna put your best foot forward and try to be better than what you was the day before in that sport." He said it's the exact same thing that women are doing. It's the same thing these strong black women are doing. You the one who said you wanted to take care of her. You the one who said you wanted to be the leader or the head of household. You said these were the things that you wanted to do. So that's what she pushing you to do. She pushing you to be the person you said you wanted to be. But for some reason, instead of you accepting it and actually putting your best foot forward on a regular basis, you just want to nag and complain like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's the messenger, not the message. They are like it is 100% that. It's who's
Yeah.
saying it. You
Right.
are supposed to be subservient to me. You're supposed to be beneath me instead of we are equals and I can hear you out. Especially if the person is coming with your best interest at heart. You just don't like the person who's saying it. But if your homeboy said the same thing, you would
All
listen.
of a sudden you heard it. But
Oh, I hear you, bro.
it's like it's this thing where there's this fear or whatever that I'm never going to be able to live up to this person that I'm supposed to be to protect her. I'm never going to live up to this person that I'm supposed to be to shoot, even help her, even help, even do my part or whatever. So I'm just not gonna try at all. Like I'm not adequate enough to do this. I can't do that because the white man this, the white man that. Y'all know the type of things that we have to go through, the yellow tape that we got to go around for every single thing that we can do. So instead of expecting me to still rise to that occasion, I need you to just accept the fact that it's never going to happen, but don't ever say it, don't ever treat me like it, and don't you be better than me. Like you're literally telling people who is just it's innately in us to perform to that level. You're literally telling us to go against our makeup basically to make you feel a certain type of way. Like y'all just forgot yourselves. Like y'all just forgot who y'all are. And even when we try to do stuff to remind y'all, it's like, shut up. Or this fake, or oh, she just saying that because she want this or whatever.
Yep. They want the title without the responsibility.
Then that's just not realistic. That's not how things happen. And I always keep thinking about this. Like I feel like Black women have, even through all of the things that we've gone through over all these years, I feel like we have always been what we are. There was just these rules and these laws against us doing more than we could back then, but we always were like we always were what we are now. We always were capable of what we do now, what we've done recently or whatever, what we've done so far through history or whatever. How is it that Black men cannot find that again? Like how is it that, and I don't even think that it's can't, they just don't want to. Like how is it's like, let's just stop trying, there's no need.
It's because they're so invested in that European mindset that they forget where we came from. That women were leaders over there. Women were warriors over there, but they think they just subscribe to that European mindset of the man is the head, the man does everything. It's just like you are just as much a problem as the white man. They have you too. You are them too, in just in black form, because you want your women to be subservient to you. You want your women to bow down to whatever you say instead of working with them. You work against them, actively against them too.
Right, intentionally too. And like me and Van was saying on another episode, like women, there is no race of woman that is submissive. Women have never been submissive. Women are not submissive, especially Black women. It has never been a thing. Either she's working with you to as a partner to build this foundation and to add on to it, or she's manipulating you into believing that she's submissive, but she not. Right, like she's literally, I promise you she not. And then the qualities that they see as submissive be, and that's why a woman who is always talking bothers them, because they see a quiet woman as a submissive woman, and that is crazy.
What they don't understand is there are literal classes on how to make your man think that you are submissive.
Books, classes, all types of stuff on how to do that. Like, but whatever, let's move on to the next segment, the let's fix it segment. Do you believe we can do anything to fight these changes?
Yeah, it's just gonna take us actually getting along, getting together, because there are always loopholes. There are always ways around things. As even though we may be considered a minority, we do have people in each field in this country, in this world. We just need the right people to be on board and move forward to teach the rest of us.
What about you, Shaya? Do you believe that we can do anything to fight these changes?
To be honest, no, I really don't. Because asking for us to come together is like pulling teeth. We know it's the right thing to do. We know that's the only option that we have. But we've been trying this for decades and still nothing. I hate to be the fucking pessimist in the group, but dog, we've been trying and failing. We've gotten obviously, yes, things are better ish. But we haven't even put a drop in the bucket. And this is all while we're still not able to come together. Like, I know that if we do, yeah, we could be unstoppable, but it's a matter of can we? Because again, like I said, we continue to try, but there's always that minority that just want to push back. There's always that minority that has that mindset of if we just behave this way, shit's gonna change. Or if we just like, I'm tired of us living in the mindset of aiming for the white man's shadow. Um, what I mean by that is a lot of black men and women, but I'm not even going to genderize it, across the board. They think that they still think that their success is is determined by their proximity to whiteness. And I don't like it. And that's not helpful. And it just reaffirms that whiteness is superior, which it's not. Like, I don't like that mindset because it doesn't do anything for us. I'm tired of that. Let's sit down and comply and be close to the white man so we can actually get some things done. Like, ugh, it disgusts me that we have to do that. It really does. But yeah, nah, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't think it can be done. I really don't. Now, like I said, I'm very interested in hearing what the entire rest of the group has because I know that y'all gonna give me some pushback or at least like some contrary. So maybe that I can not change my mind, but I can see it from a different perspective and be like, damn, all right, I see that.
With
I
that being
really think
said,
we'll move forward if we just start beating folks' asses. Like, I mean, it worked for them in the
No,
past.
I say violent, violent. Nah, y'all don't be violent. But then
We
I be
always
dead things
say
like
violence not
violence,
the
dog.
answer, but
Violence.
I real life feel like if we just start
It's the
beating the fuck out of
answer.
people, it might.
Like, dog, no, I really sorry to cut you off, man, but like, no, for real. Let us capitalize off of the fear that they actually have of us. I'm tired of
No,
this
it's
shit.
like,
but you know
that's
what?
the only thing that we haven't done. Like, we have been trying, like you said, Shaya, we have been trying so hard to play by their rules, yet we have not done the one thing that they did the most.
But
I
I feel
really
like that's
believe
not
if
the
it
only thing. I think there's two things, but I'm gonna say how I feel after Royal. After Royal says what he has to say.
So I agree with Van. There's the militant way, but there's also the way that you and I have talked about before. Is some niggas just gonna have to be left behind. There's more like-minded people like us than there are, but there's a a vocal minority. These niggas are loud. They're able, they're gonna be the antagonist to this, and they can just get left behind as we push this agenda forward. We can fix this as long as we unite the people that are like minded enough. Tell them the other niggas that's trying to talk, shut up, and we gonna keep going forward regardless of what you say. You're not gonna hold this movement back. We're not gonna allow people to be detrimental to us. We're not gonna allow people to hold us back. We're gonna keep going forward regardless of what you like. Because like Shane said, there are a lot of people that are like that are gonna try to hold us back. They're gonna try to fight and all of that. Fuck them niggas. Let's keep going forward. I think there's enough of us now, and we see it out there. There's a lot of us out there. It's just I feel like those stupid voices are just louder, so we see them a lot more. They push back. They're the Uncle Toms, that want to be close to the white people. Yes, and master. They're the house niggas.
Mm.
I hate them. Y'all not helping us at
Of course,
all.
y'all know how I feel about that too. Like the Charleston White approach. Hey, y'all want to kill each other? All right, I'm gonna call the police to get y'all locked up. Kill each other in prison. do that over there. Do that in prison. Do that whatever because it's not helping. But and also my theory is that there is already more of us than there are of them. Because if it wasn't, why is their fear why has their fear been exasperated to the point that it is? I feel like it kind of always was, but I feel like now there is more of us. And I know we can say, but it says that this is a percentage of black, but they control those numbers. So like if I want people to feel like they don't have the manpower to overthrow the government, why would I tell them that there's more of them than they are of us? When I could just lie and say y'all the minority. It's only 13% of y'all. But my take is on the question, do I believe that we can do anything to fight the change? I feel like we can, but I don't think we should. I think we should let everything that they want to happen. Like, I think we should just let them be successful, let them succeed, and do all of the things that they want to do, and let their government burn down around them. Let their system burn down around them. Just no pushback, no protesting, no fighting, no picket signs and locking arms and marching and all of the stuff that Black people have been doing over the past couple of decades. Like the things that we go to when things like this happen, I don't feel like we should do that. I think we should just let them destroy their country. Let them let this thing eat them from the inside. This parasite. Let it eat them from the inside and not even really care what happens. And I'll tell y'all the rest after we get done. But if nobody has anything to add to that, we can move to the next segment, which is the story time segment. But instead of a story time tonight, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to rant about your frustrations with the government. Whatever it is that you want to say to the people out there when it comes to what's going on and what you think would get things moving, or it don't even really got to be nothing that is a solution to the problem, or it don't even really got to be nothing that makes sense. Just talk about your frustrations and what comes to mind. Like what comes to your mind when you think about this stuff? And whoever wants the floor.
Leave us alone. Like that's it. That's the end of it. Just leave us alone.
Where do I start? First off, I I don't like how I think it's amazing how out of touch members of the government are, to be honest. So let me put on my seatbelt. Sorry, I'm on my way home, guys. Sorry. But no, honestly, they're very out of touch. They don't know what the people on the ground actually want or need, and it's garbage. And it shows. It shows in the policies that they try to pass. Not only are the people who are there out of touch, they're old as fuck. Get them the fuck out. Get them out. Like, why are you here? Why are you spending your literal whole life there? The longer they stay there, the more out of touch that they become. You're wealthy. Of course, you don't know what it looks like to not have anything. You already have. You don't want for anything. And it's wild to me that these people in the government don't even know how much shit costs. They don't know how much shit costs. Like, how are you going to help us when you don't even know what the price of a gallon of milk is? How are you gonna know what we need if you don't know anything that's on the ground here? You probably have your groceries delivered to you. You get to have your kids and they get to go to private schools and they get, the best child care and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's the entire fuck? And while I'm speaking on the members of the government, I need Black people that are part of this government. I need y'all to keep focused. I need y'all to keep focused, honestly and truly. Keep focused, because y'all get in there and then it's like, oh, because you're in proximity to whiteness now, everything's all right. Oh, I got mines now, so I'm good. We don't need to change anything. That's fucking bullshit. Like, it's so wild how men.
We can't hear you, Shaya. If you're still talking, we can't hear you.
Our needs and our wants and our ideals don't align. Get those people that they really don't represent us. They don't represent the people on the ground. And that's what pisses me off the most. Because as long as they're out of touch, we ain't never gonna get what we need. There ain't never gonna be change. Not even just for people of color, but just regular, everyday people who aren't part of this hierarchy. It's weird. It's fucking weird. How do we have people in government, the most important part of this country, I assume? I mean, if we're being
people should
literal, right? Exactly. And it's like, they do. You work for us. Like, we elect you. We literally pay your fucking tab. Like, we pay you. Why are you just taking our money and running? And we're still. And that being said, I'm kind of upset with some of the voters too. Like, how do you see somebody driving like? I equate it to like people going to church, seeing the pastor like driving a fucking Rose, and you're just like, yep, I'm gonna keep contributing to this man who don't give shit to us. But no, you need to give to him, so he's the one who can bless you through the Lord. Cut that nonsense. Cut that malarkey. I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because these people in government, y'all are too wealthy to have the job that y'all have. Honestly speaking, I believe, and I don't know if this is just me like shooting shit, but like, I don't think that should be a paying job. I want to see if you're really down for the cause. Don't pay them. Don't get money in any regard. You shouldn't get a paycheck. Taken out of the equation. I want to see how many niggas would do that shit. Would stay in government. Like, it's wild. It's wild out here. Like, I don't even know what a solution could be. First and foremost, well, shooting the shot. First and foremost, there should be an age cap. There should be an age cap and a 10-year cap. You should not be able to spend more than X amount of years in government. And you should not be elected if you're more than so-and-so age. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Like, you don't reflect the people on the ground. It needs to reflect the people on the ground, what we go through. But I'm done.
Anybody else?
Okay. So let me piggyback off of what Shay said. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
First off, why do we have people running this government that were born during the Great Depression or that were born during World War II? You really think about this. They were born before color TV. Why? Why are you in the government?
Hey, yo. Not color TV, I'm dead. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But you really have to think about that process. Why are these people in power? Our president was born during World War II. Like, the sheer amount of time that is. They did a breakdown that he was born, born closer to Lincoln's presidency. It was some kind of thing. I can't remember what the amount was, but it's just crazy in the proximity to Lincoln. Like, these people are in the government who are old as hell, who probably don't have all their mental faculties about them, and are just voting blindly. You know,
Diane Feinstein, but okay.
Yeah, voting blindly to pass these laws, who they don't have no idea what they're doing, so they're beholden to these lobbyists or whatever. First off, we need to take the money out of the politics. I've been for this for a long time. Take the money out of there. Another thing for us black people, it pisses me off every time I hear a black person say, "Well, I don't vote because they already got who they want to win pick." It pisses me off every time I hear that, because why do you think they keep trying to repeal voting laws? They notice that we have power. They don't already have it picked. We can make the difference if we actually go out there and vote. But they convince you the voting laws are for the people that are actually going to get out there and vote. And for the rest of y'all, they already got y'all convinced that your vote don't mean anything. So they don't have to do anything. So the things are going to continue on the way that they are unless we wake up and actually start taking an active part in this government. And then people voting for people just on name recognition. I'm from California. We voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger. That same election, Gary, what was his name? The one from the little person from that old show. Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman won 5% of the vote, and porn star Mary Carey won 5% of the vote. Why? How did this happen? Like, these people have name recognition, so people literally go and vote, and they say, "Well, I know that name," instead of going there and actually doing it like a real job. Would you hire this person to work for you? Are they the best person for the job? Do they have our best interests at heart? And then holding them accountable. Because we could literally, you get there, and if you lie, we could repeal you, can take you out of the office. And then a lot of people that get there, they make campaign promises. We could hold them accountable right then and there. Oh, you said that you weren't going to do that, but you did it. Okay, you out of there, buddy. We're going to have a special election. You out of there. it just pisses me off that people are not actively taking interest in things that affect our everyday lives. That's why I've been so passionate about politics since I was younger, because I realized where the power was to make changes. It affects everything in our lives, from the food that we buy to the potholes in the road, to the fact that you got to pay a ticket when you for not having registration. All of this stuff can be remedied if we actually take interest and start to notice these things happening. It pisses me off that we're just people just walking blindly. Well, it doesn't affect me right now. It does though. It really does. You just don't care. You just don't care enough to be a part of the change. And it angers me so.
I just think that I just feel like people should stop looking to celebrities to be our spokesperson and our saviors. And oh, when he got money, he got some what do you call it, financial literacy courses for children, or he did this, or he gives out turkeys every Thanksgiving. He does school drives and stuff like that. Like, y'all are impressed by every little thing. Y'all are impressed by everything except the things that matter. And y'all have to realize that these people already got money. They're no longer us, they're them. They no longer, because they lose touch as soon as they get that money, because like Endya said, it's about individualism rather than us coming together as a society and getting things done. We feel like the way to the answer to be free is to just grind, get rich, and then you free. Then you don't have to worry about all of these things that we go through all the time. But and you might be right, you may not have to, but there are people out there that still do. And I just feel like when people get money, they just lose touch with their community. They don't really care um about the issues that they claim they cared about. um and when they do, one person can't do everything. Like, even if every single Black celebrity was to actually put their money where their mouth is and do the things that they said that they were going to do, they wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. They'll be able to help a little bit, but the only way that they would be able to like really make some change is if they didn't take the money for real. If they took their money and just push it back to the community, they don't really take a whole lot of it for themselves, but they just take it and they put it back out to the community. That would be the only way. And how many people do y'all think gonna do that? Would you do that? Would you, if you had $500 million, would you give most of that money? Would you give 400 million to the community and keep 100 million for yourself? Most people would not do that, because your brain tells you, if I do that, if I give away 400 million of my dollars, 100 million is not going to last me. I ain't going to be able to survive for a long time with that much money, because you're wired to survive first. And that's how a lot of people are going to think. They're going to think, if I do too much, then I'll be taken away from myself and my family. Then how am I take care of my family?
Not realizing they'll actually be building a bunch of generational wealth for other people. And if you have financial literacy, you can take that money that you have left, invested, and get your money either right back or more.
Right back. Build that money right back up, and do that over and over and over again. Keep doing that until you have really helped your community, because that's the only way. But if we want to be real, those same people, those celebrities that y'all, because y'all are the reason why they rich. Like, y'all the reason why they got money, because y'all support everything that they do. But the reason
that's part of the scarcity mindset though. For a lot of
yeah,
people that didn't come from wealth, they're afraid of losing it. You know, when you had anything, you gotta hold on to it by all means because you're
yeah,
afraid that you're gonna lose that little bit that you have, but not realizing you're on a whole different tax bracket now, and you can make different decisions now. Like you have money to change everything, and you give it back, but not just giving it back. You have to give it back in the right way. You know, by
of course, yeah. I
creating.
don't mean just like giving out money.
Yeah, that's stupid to me. You know, that's a for show. You know, investing your money in the
Yeah,
community
because
is
they do
different.
that. It's stupid.
Yeah,
Pull up in
people
the
that
hood
sit
and
there
give
all
everybody 100 or 20,
yeah, or
and
$100 and throw
I'll
it out the
give it back.
window.
I'll give it back.
I'm giving back to the hood. No,
Sure.
you're not. No, you're not. That's not actually building something sustainable in your hood that you're from. Go back to the hood and make a real difference. Build businesses, start an economy in that neighborhood, and only hire people from that neighborhood. That's how you start making a difference. Actually,
They got
making
the solutions. They got the solutions, but like I was about to say, a lot of them not gonna do it because they want to be like what they say in the rap songs. I'm the first generation millionaire. I'm the only one from my hood that's a millionaire. I'm the only one that got this amount of money from my hood. I'm the only nigga from the trap house that's a billionaire, whatever. They like having those bragging rights. And if you help in the community and you putting more money in people's pocket to do different jobs and keeping the jobs in the community, then you can't brag about that. Because now, well, you could, but not really. Because now your whole community is doing well. Your community is doing better. Even if they don't have the same $100 million in their pocket like you got in yours, they're still benefiting from that money that you funneled into the community. And you can't really brag about that, or at least they don't see it being the same thing. Because it's all about image to them. It's all about selling this dream, and nobody actually really coming together and doing something real, which is why I say conversations need to be had behind the scenes. Like, yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about nothing. Like I said earlier, like everybody, a lot of more Black people are getting platforms, and I feel like they should keep them and they should keep talking. But there are some things that we should talk about privately. And I'm not, when I say we, I ain't talking about them niggas. They not we no more. Like, they literally are not we no more. They aren't. And the only people who can make real change, the only people that we should be depending on is us. But on the other side, I say just let these people do what they want to do. And let's mind our business and let the dinosaurs die out like they gonna do. But nobody has anything else.
specifically, we talking about them boomers.
Right.
So,
Let
Nah,
the let
I can't wait for them to die.
let
We
the
gotta do something
dinosaurs
now.
die. They gotta go.
Nah,
We
they gotta
know
go now.
they're the problem. We know they are. They gotta go.
They gotta go now. Like, I can't wait for time. I'm sorry. Some gotta go now. Like, is
And I feel
we
like
could wait.
I feel like the fast track to something being done now is to let them do what they want to do.
Yeah,
That just gonna flip on them. So they, first of all, they ain't even gonna know how to react to that. If everybody just voted yes on those bills that they trying to get passed, they wouldn't even know what to think. Not saying we giving up. I ain't never said give up. I said allow what they want to happen to happen.
I promise you, they'll be like, "What now?" They
They
probably
would
wouldn't even
be
know what to
so
do.
confused. They wouldn't
What's
know
the
what
plan
to
now?
do.
But we don't have nobody to fight against. There's no opposition. What?
Every time we resist their ideas, even though they not, to me, they're not really like these different new innovative ideas, they go bigger with the stuff that they try to do. Every time we resist, every time they see a little bit of fight in us or whatever, we gonna take more from them every single time. Just give them what they want. I'm telling you, they gonna be going so quick. They need to go. Like they do. They need to go. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. But if nobody else has anything to add, we will be on to the next segment, which is the wealthy health segment, with this question. We already kind of answered. What can we do to fight these changes? We already answered. We had some answers in a lot of the stuff that we just said, basically within our rants, which I figured we were going to do anyway, which was why I was like, instead of doing a story time, let me just let people say how they feel. And I feel like some stuff would come out. So we can skip that. But basically, to sum everything up, we just need to stop moving the way that we have been moving for the past 100 years, if you ask me. Probably longer than that. We just need to stop following the same model we've been following. We need to regroup, come up with something else, start listening to these I don't want to say modern activists, but start listening to these activists who have been trying to get their messages across and who have real solutions, and not just listening so you can just repeat what they say, regurgitate what they say to make it sound like you woke, but like really listening and taking what they say in and figuring out how you can benefit that person, connecting with those people, asking them how you can help, not just listening, not just saying Rizza Islam be speaking the truth, like y'all need to start listening to him, but get in contact with his people and ask him how you can help. What can you do to help? Tell him what you are good at and let them figure out where to place you in the organizations to actually make an effort, because we talk a lot. That's all we've been doing, talking. But we don't do enough. But for the next segment, the What Would You Do segment, we don't have any questions, but don't forget that if you want advice or you have any questions, email us at socialcyclepod@gmail.com, and we will try to answer your questions as best as we can. Now, for the last segment of the episode, the Black Life segment. What are your fears about the regression of our government?
I'd have to say that one fear, just without thinking too deeply about it, is we're gonna regress so far back that there's no that we brainwash, like the next generation wouldn't be able to pull us out. So like a point, we'd reach a point of no return. Because let's be real, if we get enough young people to believe in some shit, then we're fucked. Like all these old heads.
I already
I
see
know
the
we
younger
already are,
generation.
but
I already see the younger generation, and they are not on one accord with us. They are not.
I don't think they're not here for the bullshit, and I fuck with it so hard. At least from
I ain't talking about that.
Oh, what you mean? I need to see now. Now I'm curious.
I'm talking about those kids don't care about nothing. They don't like racism and all of that stuff like that. That stuff does not like matter to them.
I mean, well, I guess I can understand that because they weren't born into not that they weren't born into it. I think it's less. I think they didn't have to go through nearly as much as we did, and we were anyway.
They do when they accept it. Because I remember my little cousin,
You said
telling
they
us.
accepted. Oh hell no.
Yeah,
Oh hell
I
no.
remember
What
my
we gonna do
little
about
cousin telling us that this white boy called him a nigga. And I was like, what y'all did? And he said we laughed at him. And I was like,
what? Excuse me.
huh?
No. Okay, nah. Let me
And we had
retract.
to
I
tell
thought
him
I had hope for
why.
these people.
We had to tell him why it was wrong and why he shouldn't laugh at it. And he just was looking at us like, I don't see the problem. Like, what do y'all mean? Like, I'm like,
They think that we live in a post-racial society
they
because of the
do.
way
They
that they
think
grew up.
everything is fixed because of social media. Social media has this illusion that all of us get along. There's this illusion that all of the races get along, and that is not true.
From my point of view, I haven't seen anything like that, but it's more so of the fact they just don't care.
They don't
Like,
care. That's what
it's
I
not that
mean.
they
They
don't
don't care.
understand it. Like, they fully understand it. They don't, it's not that they don't think, racism is gone. It's like, why, it's more of a, why would I give my energy into that? Like, they know they full of shit. I know they full of shit. What do you want me to do about it outside of beat their ass? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put my energy into that. And they just let it go. Like, they don't care. It doesn't bother them, so they don't care.
That's what I meant though. But he didn't understand why we were telling him that he shouldn't find that funny. He was like, okay, he just called me a nigga. So what? And I
They
was
see
like,
it the
well,
same way. Yeah, they see it the same way. Like, when you know somebody can't do something to you, so they insult you, and it's like, oh, that's the best you got.
like I was on the live the other day on TikTok and they were having a colorism conversation, which I feel like with the people that were in there, and of course they're like early 20s, like I'll say from age 18 to 24, mostly, with a sprinkle of, you know, upper 20 and 30-year-olds. And they were talking about colorism because it was this girl that came up and she said, and they was asking her what her type was, and she was like, um, I don't have a type. And she was like, I don't think I have a type, but if you ask other people, they would say that I like light-skinned people. To me, it's just, I ain't gonna take accountability for having a type. I'm gonna just say other people say that I have a type, but I'm not saying it, so I don't get in that much trouble if y'all got a problem with it or whatever. But she was saying that light-skinned people are her type. I don't care about people who say stuff like that. I don't care. To me, it's more of a problem when I hear if Van was to be like, I don't like light-skinned people. Then I'm like, you don't like you? Like, to me, that's more weird. But because I know colorism is so like ingrained, it don't surprise me. But um somebody called her a colorist, and then people was in the comments, don't say nothing, don't bring up that C word, don't say nothing about her being a colorist. That's a preference, and y'all shouldn't be mad or whatever. Because if somebody came up and said that they only like dark-skinned people, y'all wouldn't say this, y'all wouldn't feel like this, y'all wouldn't say it. It's a double standard. And I'm like, of course, the people that benefit for colorism aren't going to see a problem from it, and that's mostly who was in it, who was in the live, in the comments, and who were also hosting the live. But yeah, I definitely wasn't about to go in the comments and explain to them why it's not a double standard. It's why there's that difference, but it's not a double standard. It's the same way as if a white person say that they don't like black people, but person goes up there and says, I only like black people, that's not a double standard because there's no benefits of them saying that. Like, people literally benefit from colorism and from racism. But the people who usually don't get the privilege don't benefit from it. So the harm in saying that, there's really no harm in saying it. And I think people who say I only like dark skinned people most of the time be doing it for brownie points. I don't trust people that say any of those things. None of it makes sense to me because I'm pansexual and I don't understand how you could isolate yourself to just one thing when there's so many different things. It is all weird. Unless that thing is white, then then I understand. But go ahead, Royal. What is your fear about the regression of the government?
It's not necessarily about the regression. It's more about our reaction to it, and it'll be stagnation. It'll be us just giving up and not pushing anything forward for us, not trying to fight for the betterment of us. Just just thinking everything's fine, and like we have nothing else to do. The past generations, they passed the baton off to each other and said there's more work to do. But here you go. Here's the baton. You keep it going. I did all I could do. I feel like this generation will get to that point of stagnation and just think everything's fine. There's no longer work to do.
I
There's so much more than
actually don't see that for the past generation.
you don't find that past the baton.
I think they gave up. It was like this. I think they was like, this is all we could get. I really do.
I feel like some of them did that. A vast majority did, but there were still people out here fighting. So
Same. I think that's in every generation.
yeah, well, a vast majority got comfortable, and then this is all we gonna get. But a lot of people were still fighting, like for civil rights. It just expanded more for like Al Sharpton said it. A lot of people hate on him and everything, but he said civil rights means rights for everybody. You can't just say it's rights for black people and leave out trans people. You can't say it's right for black people and leave out gay people. Like you have to fight for everybody. You
That's
want to stand
another
on
thing too. That's
what?
another distraction I feel too that they threw in there. Another brainwashing. The heterosexual against the LGBT black people.
Yes. Like it is ridiculous. And the hate is so visceral. But then you try to get to the root of it with people and they'll cut you off. Well, it's just wrong. Why though? Who said this? The Bible. Like if that's your answer, then you have no idea what you're talking about. Why does it make you feel uncomfortable? Why does it bother you? Because it has nothing to do with you. They're not gay people are not shoving their gayness down your throat.
That's how they feel though. Every
It's like,
time
oh,
they
they
turn
kissing
on
them, they
TV,
kissing,
they on
they kissing
TV
the
kissing
show.
and stuff. Y'all on TV kissing.
They on TV having sex.
So are
So
y'all.
what? So what? I don't care what and then the people that it bothers me. Like, I don't know if honestly I could be friends with somebody if the heterosexual sex scene comes on and you're fine, and the gay one comes on and you gotta fast forward and turn it off. That really bothers me. Why does that bother you so much?
I hate seeing everybody kiss. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm equal with my disdain. Just don't kiss at all. It's like I'm joking. Van, did you answer?
I didn't. Basically, what Royal was saying is like it's either the future generation is gonna get stagnant, or the word I would like to say is even more desensitized to how serious the situation is, to a point we actually will end up going backwards, because it'll be like history repeating itself. Like the older generation really did give up. Like
They
they were just
did.
like
They gave up.
accepting
It was
it
like,
for what it was. Right, like they just
we're
accepted
here.
everything for what it was, and I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen. Like it's going to get to the point where instead of fighting, because they're like, "Why should we fight? What's the purpose? What's the reason?" Because it obviously hasn't gone anywhere, hasn't done anything for us. We're gonna just end up repeating the cycle.
I feel like our generation is the last that cares still. And then you got the older generation that's like, shut up, y'all are too progressive. And then you got the younger generation that's just like, I don't see problem. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see that. And will argue you down about a celebrity in the comments. And I refuse to argue with a 12-year-old about why it's wrong for Blueface to yell at his pregnant girlfriend or whoever they are. But it's just it's ridiculous. But to be honest, I don't have any fears when it comes to it about the regression of the government or whatever. um I wouldn't say that I'm usually hopeful, but I just kind of feel like um I don't know. Like I just kind of feel like things gonna happen how they gonna happen, how they supposed to happen. And whatever things are, I feel like things are going to happen how they're going to happen. I care about the reaction to it. I don't necessarily care about the thing that's happening, but how we gonna react is what I choose to focus on. Because I ain't gonna say I hope that it's not. I think hope is for lazy people. Hope is for people that don't plan on doing that to get where they trying to be. To me, that's how I feel. But as far as having any fears, like I sit back and I watch things, and I just kind of like analyze it, and like, what if we do this? What if we do that? And like I said earlier, like I really believe what I said to y'all earlier. I really think that I really think that this one is one that we should just not give up on, but we should just let them have it. Let them have it. This one time, not give up, but let them do the things that they want to do and see what happens. But that don't mean I think we should just sit down and like but I think we should like everybody just vote yes. See how they respond to it. They want to do psychological warfare. We can do the same thing. The physical stuff that we doing ain't working. It's time for us to hit psychological warfare with psychological warfare. That's how I feel. And if nobody has anything else to add to that, then we are going to end the episode right here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think about the regression of our government. Do you think it's regressing? Do you think that we are being dramatic and, you're in Gen Z or you're boomer and you don't see the problem? I mean, just let us know what y'all think. What y'all got to say about it? What y'all think is going on? What y'all want to happen? Do y'all think it can be helped? All of the questions that I put in the description, because I will have all of them, and I want y'all to answer all of those questions. But until next time, uh, stay black and stay dangerous, because safety don't exist in this country. But thanks for watching. Bye.